Hi, I'm Krista West with Avlea Folk Embroidery, and this is a floss tube. Although you can tell we are not in the workshop, are we now? The reason we're not in the workshop today is I thought today it would be fun to go on a field trip and to look at the textiles that I've stitched and show how I display those in my own home. For many of you who have done embroidery and cross stitch and things like that, and are used to completing a piece and then framing it or displaying it that way, the whole idea of using textiles in your home environment as table runners, cushions, things like that, that may be wall hangings, that might be a little bit of a new concept. So I thought it could be kind of fun to just sort of go around and see how I've done this. Now, I will let you know right now that it's summer, and so I don't have like a huge amount of textiles out. When it's in the fall, I tend to put more things out just because it's fall and it feels cozy. What I tend to have out right now is lighter pieces, that sort of a thing. So I thought, let's just start in the living room and we'll walk around the house and just see like where I've got textiles and what I'm doing with them. Now, the living room is still a little bit in process. You'll notice at the back end, it looks like, wow, Krista could really use some furniture back there. Well, yes, Krista totally could. It's on order. The thing with COVID is it is really difficult to get furniture. So I have been waiting months and months to get my new chairs in the back there, right back there. There's gonna be two nice little chairs. So let's start out in the living room. Some of you, I've shown you the living room in the previous videos. This is the living room, the really amazing living room of our 1923 home. It was sort of this living room that made me want to live in this house because like, yes, please. So anyways, but one thing I'm finding is a very big room, as you can see. And so that makes it somewhat challenging to decorate because everything kind of has to be on a big scale. Oops, sorry there, alarm going off on my phone. So let's start out with how I'm using textiles in this room. Well, first off, as you can see, I'm super duper into drapes. Super duper into drapes. This is a Countin and Tout fabric. So this is, oh wait, I'm pulling the wrong side, aren't I? Ooh, sorry, it's hard for me to like figure out how to do my camera this way. Anyways, it's a really beautiful drape. This is you'll see them in my line drapery panel video. But the first thing for me is to get the windows, to have fabric on the windows. I love having fabric on windows. It just instantly warms a room. And I do not hand embroider my drapes or anything like that. Those are all ready-made fabrics that I just sew into drapery panels. So if you're looking for a very quick way to bring textiles into your environment, drapes are probably the easiest, fastest, and most economical way. There's a wide range of what's out there right now and a lot of options for sort of faking really good quality looks. So it isn't like you have to spend $100 a yard for really custom drapery fabric. If you have that budget though, I would strongly recommend that you look at that and consider that because your draperies can be an amazing aesthetic element of your environments. So drapes first. You can see I have a rug. This is the nicest rug I own. It was actually a gift from my father and it is really glorious. It's a silk and wool rug and it's just a very treasured textile of mine. So floors, drapes, you get those two things going. And rugs, like, okay, a couple of shout outs. First off, check your local Craigslist. People move, people change their rooms up, and it's pretty easy to find decent quality rugs on Craigslist. I'll show you one in the Entryway in a minute that I picked up for like a couple $100 on Craigslist. That's like a really nice wool rug. Check your local thrift stores. A lot of times people don't know the quality of wool rugs. Also, I'm a big fan of revival rugs. I have bought now a number of rugs. We've used them in some of the photo backdrop photos for the Avlea designs, and they're awesome. Their rugs are really great, very affordable because they're pre-worn. And with a rug, I mean, you're just going to be standing on it. It's not a big deal to have something pre-worn. Plus, it's very environmentally friendly to do something pre-worn. So, rugs. Okay, so we have drapes, we have carpets. Do those two things in your environment and you'll really like overnight change. But now, coming into what I specialize with Avlea, let's talk about all the extras. This is where it gets really fun. So, for example, right now, we're going to walk this way. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn the camera around real quick here, and I'm going to show you this. Right now, you're getting a sneak peek at the Baltic Scroll cushion cover design. This is actually, I just did this for Taproot magazine, and it will come out in their August issue. Now, they have the copyright to the design for 8 months, so you'll be able to get it through Taproot. It's a great publication to support. They'll also be selling kits on their website when it releases. So here I have some old books, and I have some plants here in some brass planters because I am totally a sucker for brass, whether or not it is in or out of interior design fashion. I just love brass. I love the warmth. I love the patina. And then here, I had made this sample, and I was looking for a way to photograph it, and I happened to have this old dining room chair, which is like ancient old. The upholstery is really old, and I just popped the pillow on it. And then I just kind of left it there because I really liked it, and it felt kind of warm and inviting coming into the living room. Now, moving around is my coffee table. Now, coffee table for me is like a major place to display my embroideries. Right now, because it's summer, I have something a little lighter. This design is beautiful. I'm gonna get up close to it so you can see it. This is a really beautiful design. I actually just acquired this for my private collection. I have not stitched this. This is actually a vintage piece from Greece. I just love the design. I'm gonna go in a little closer so you can see all those amazing little curly cues done by back stitches. I'm currently having a moment with back stitches, so wow, more on that later because wow, I'm just loving how they add variety and intricacy to a design. This also has a very unique colorway. Look at that with like the bright green and the blues and the turquoise, and I think that's 918 copper. That's just a really lively, gorgeous color palette. And when I got it, I was like, oh, this isn't going to go anywhere in my house. And then as soon as I started walking around in my house, it like went like 5 different places. It's just very versatile. And then I have a plant. You all know, if you've been following me on Instagram, I have an absolute love affair with combining plants and textiles. My coffee table is just an old one I picked up at a garage sale years and years ago. The legs fell off of it, so my husband put the little casters fell off of it, so my husband put new ones on, which was great. Now, moving kind of along here, we're going to go over here. Wait, we missed a pillow. Hang on here. Okay, so we have a pillow here. Boop. That's just a linen pillow that I made years ago. I'm in the process of making new cushions covers for my living room, and it's going to be a set of 3. And one is the Corinthian bridal shawl design that I showed on Instagram. And then another is a really cool octagram border. And then I haven't decided on the third. And that'll replace these. I definitely need to upgrade my cushions. This is the Grecian stripe cushion, which is one of the very first projects I ever made, actually, getting into Greek folk embroidery. And it's just here because I like it. It makes me happy. It doesn't maybe 100% go with the room, but it makes me happy. So I keep it in here. Then this is the new Tansy design. Like I said, I'm a sucker for brass and metal things that look aged. And so I got these really cool tables. I can't remember where I got the tables, but I just happened to finish Tansy last week and we were doing a photo shoot. And so this is one that it's just a little table mat size, which first off is awesome because they're really affordable. They're really inexpensive to stitch, and they're really versatile. Even though I have this kind of like big old house, I find myself using the smaller table mat size like all over the place. And then I forgot to mention way back here, I have Melianthus border. Oh, these are actually really cool. These are my pakors. They're 1920s photographs of Armenian embroideries. Oh my gosh, found them years ago on eBay and they're just love them. I never get tired of looking at them. And so right here I have Melianthus border. If I was a little more organized, oh wow, it isn't even on center. I don't have a plant or anything on it, which I should, or some sort of beautiful thing, but there it is. There, you can see it right there. Now, moving along here, over here, I have like a really nice sort of little arrangement. As you can see from the room, the fireplace in the middle here creates these 2 alcoves on either side. And I like to create little sort of areas there, decorative areas there. This is a wood carving that was actually hand done by a friend of mine a long time ago. It's got a peacock in it, really beautiful. It's just a basic orchid from Trader Joe's on an old plate that I found at a thrift store. And the brass pot is from a thrift store. And this is the Byzantine scroll and meander design. This size of table runner that's about maybe 15 inches wide by about 26 to 30 inches long, I find that a really versatile size. So I'm really hoping as I move forward to do more things in that size. The biggest thing is just a lot of stitching. So here, this is the Byzantine scroll meander. This was the first design that I really did a full adaptation on my own and had to figure out the repeats and the corners and yada, 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 because the original embroidery that I took this off of was actually a 35 by 35 inch square, and I didn't want that. I wanted something more like a table runner. So this is that one. It's a really beautiful design. And then on this one, you might find it interesting on this one. Notice that I did not do a drawn thread hem on this. What I did do is I just lined it with cotton. So I basically just took a piece of cotton, folded over the edges on the wrong side, and then just hand stitched it. You can see I'll get in closer. I just hand stitched it to the embroidery. That's a really great finish if you don't want to tackle the drawn thread hem. So that's one of them. Now over here, you guys want to see my messy stitching table? Right here is my very messy stitching table. Ooh, but look I have the cute little Balkan partisan on my stitching table with all my little things. Very messy, but it makes me happy every time I sit down. Now moving along back here is, this is where my bonsai normally sits. And my bonsai is really sick. And I don't know what I did to it. And I have to take it in and see if Jude can fix it for me. But normally, my cute little bonsai sits here. And this is a really gorgeous design that I'll show you. This is the Anafi Diamante. I'm getting ready to release this. This will be a limited edition kit. It's inspired by an original design. It's got these amazing interlocking squares. Oh my gosh, can we just have a moment for this one? Woo! I did not stitch this one. My lovely sample stitcher, Teresa, stitched it, but as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, I need that in my living room. So, so, so beautiful. Really cool design. And I decided to use the design as a double-ended runner. We'll be having that as a limited edition kit, basically as soon as I can get everything pulled together to do it. This is on the Legacy Linen Coconut Macaroon, and again, that's the one that's been discontinued, so I don't have a lot of it left. Okay, now let's just turn around this way. We're going to move this way. I don't want to make you guys too dizzy in the video. Now, normally, over on this table over here with the lamp, I normally have some sort of embroidery there, but I don't know. I must have forgotten to put that one out. More pillows. That's the Byzantine Rondelle pillow. Now, moving over here, I have an embroidery that I actually purchased in Greece. This was one of my first big pieces that I bought for my own private collection. The shop where the gal has these in Thessaloniki, she doesn't accept credit cards, which was really a good thing for me because I would have literally bought out the entire shop and come home massively in debt. So the fact that I had to scrape together every last euro I had on that trip to buy this was, this is why I was able to get it. It's a beautiful piece. It's her own design. But I want to point out, and this is surface embroidery, so this is not cross stitch. But I want to point out a couple of things about this that are really unique. This is first off worked on an extremely fine handkerchief linen. And you'll note the drawn thread hem, a wide hem, a deep hem on this. The design almost feels kind of Art Deco. I love the design on this. And I've used it a lot of different places in my house. Sometimes I put it on the coffee table. Sometimes I drape it on the coffee table. But it just sort of seemed to sing with this cute little plant in its pink pot and the cute picture of my daughters when they were little. Anyways, I just loved this whole little vignette here. And then, of course, the drapes, people. I'm sort of preaching the gospel of drapes, I guess. So, what was the other thing? Oh, the other thing I was going to point out about this that's really neat. Note the way that 2 shades of each color are used on this. You see this again and again in folk embroidery. And this one is a really classic example. Note that there are 2 shades of the red. I'm guessing that's 355 red and then probably the 356, the 2 shades lighter. Notice that, here we do have 3 shades of the gold, which is kind of cool because that gives a really interesting effect. The greens are 2 shades of green, and I'm guessing it's 3012, and I don't think that's 469 avocado. It might just be the darker version of the 3012. And then these blues, this has got to be the 931 antique blue with the lighter blue. But it creates this incredible dynamism and energy in a piece when it's only 3 colors used in this piece, but it looks so much more vibrant. Okay, now moving around the room. We're gonna move this way. And here is a little table that sits next to my piano. And on this one, I have the old faithful, I like to think of it, Salerno tile. Oh, wow. How many of you have stitched Salerno tile? So many people have stitched it, but it's just this really awesome design. This one I did on Legacy Linen Sunflower that is now faded to this like lovely color. I really am happy with the color. And the design is just really, it's just a beautiful all over interlocking design. See if I can get a little closer there. It's just a great design. And it's another one that I've used a lot of different places in my house. Okay, now we are going to move into the entryway. Whoop, there goes the piano. And now we're going to move into the entryway. The entryway of this house is just, wow, it's incredible. And then I have to show you, I have to go up for a minute. Let me see if I can show you. My husband found this beautiful old light fixture for me, which was just awesome. Now in my entryway, oh, there's the carpet that I told you that I picked up on Craigslist. So see, you can find it. Oh, and Alban and the kids are in there actually doing homeschool. That's why the dining room is closed today. So now this is my entryway. Okay, clearly. There we go. And I have this table, and I have a couple things set out to show you. This is the new Venetian Floreal, and normally I just put a vase of roses on it. So I have my vase of roses from my garden and my Venetian Floreal. And this is so welcoming when you come into the house to see this. It's just a really great way. These little runners are just an awesome way to sort of instantly add color, texture, interest to pretty much any space, because this space would be so boring and so bland without a textile. It'd just be too many hard surfaces. Now, those are the Jude the Obscure roses for those of you that are rose aficionados. Now, I tend to change out my table runners here a lot because it's something that I can just change quickly. This is the Avlea. When I want something a little brighter, I put out the Avlea table runner. I also use the Mediterranean floral table runner out here. I could use the Aegean octagon table runner out here. The Byzantine scroll and meander would look great out here. So I do that. So I do change these, probably every month or so, like when I have a new design. And part of it, I love changing them out because I feel like I get to really appreciate the different designs that we work on. Okay, so moving along. Here we go. Let's move upstairs. Okay, so this right here is the original phone niche. This house had one of the first telephones back in 1923. And this is where I have a little rug and I have this here. And I would say this isn't like perfect. I could definitely do better with this little whole scene. I still feel like I'm working on this alcove to make it look really awesome. I need something taller, and it's not perfect, but it gives you an idea of what you can do with textiles. So this is just a basic, little table right here. And then this is the Balkan diamond and arrow design. And I put that here. Now the little Brown Betty painted teapot doesn't really go, but it's what I've got for right now. So I'm just kind of working with it. And I'm kind of constantly on the lookout for like new things. Okay, so we're gonna go up the stairs real quick, and I'm gonna show you a really cool feature in this house is this super funky spot of the stairwell. Okay, let me see if I can get back so you can see it. So this basically just doesn't go anywhere. And it was like covered with carpet when we moved in, but when we pulled up the carpet, there's this beautiful hardwood flooring underneath. And this whole little area, you can't really sit there or put anything in there because it's like literally just off the stairs. But what it does is it actually creates the dormer on the outside of the house. So that's why it's needed. Now here, I am not in love with these drapes. They're a placeholder till I find my perfect drape for here. I'm still looking for the perfect drape. This is a small space, and so the drapes need to be really good. So I'm still looking. I have the Kefalonia peacocks on the wall framed. I'm not a huge fan of framed textiles like on the wall, but I don't know. I kind of put it there. I liked it. This is the new design, blue larkspur. Let me see if I can get closer. And I actually was inspired to do the colors by this pot here. It's actually a casserole dish. It's a ceramic casserole dish, and it's from like the 1930s. You've got to see this painting work on it. It's just so cool. Anyways, found that at my little local thrift store that I'm always hunting through. And I just was like, I have to do a design that will work with that little dish. Oh, and it's got these like super cool, like 1930s kind of Art Deco handles. Can you see those there? Oh, they're so awesome. And then the whole thing about it just makes me happy. Now this design I have actually shown, the way I display a lot of things is on the square. On the diamond, sorry. So it's a square design, but I'm putting it on the table, orienting it diamond fashion, which looks really cool. Like I'm going to try and show you that from several angles, but it looks really, really neat. Okay. And then that design actually is, oh, I just love this design. This one will release probably September. I think I'm going to release that in September, back when everybody's ready to like stitch again. When we're through our summer and, we got that out of our system and we can go back to stitching. So, okay, moving along, we're going to go back down the stairs. I also have embroideries like in my bedroom and things like that. I put table runners on my, I put table runners on my dresser, just so I have that spot of color. This is a Lefkada embroidery that a friend of mine brought me back from Greece. And Lefkada work is actually drawn thread work. I would say, again, I don't have this little guy perfect, but I'm kind of, a lot of my stuff is a work in progress. Now I'm moving along here. This is the study for the house. There's a little tiny study library. It's very small. And then back here, I'm going to show you the guest room. Oh, that has the playpen in it for my granddaughter. So you can see that. And I'll show you how I use textiles here. Now, some of you saw this in the paint video, but we have the drapes. These are actually just Pottery Barn drapes. These are not very expensive, but boy, they do wonders for this room. This room really needs a lot of drapes. Now, here we have, this is a hand-loomed blanket, wool blanket that I got actually at an auction a number of years ago that I was so excited to get because it was actually made by a Greek woman. It's very cool. Really lends that kind of like lovely warm vibe to the room. I have actually on the bed is like just a fun pillow. Okay. Let's see here. Where else? Then here we have olivine, which is, our classic little olivine, little table mat. Those of you have seen that. And that's in here. And then every once in a while, I'll put another pillow like back on that back chair. Oh, the frame textile there, that's a Deerfield embroidery piece that I did, oh my word, many, many, many moons ago. That's actually done in silk on cotton. So anyways, so moving along here, we're going to go back to the living room. I also have we have a little like TV den room that I have some textiles in, but I just wanted to give you kind of this short